I'll wait, I'll wait.
Hey guys, can we disconnect from our phones? We need to be present.
All right. Buenos dias, good morning. Okay, so today is going to be an awesome day. We have over 70 guest presenters that are here to educate minds and inspire futures. They've given up their time from their busy schedules because they love coming to Orosi High School. They always brag about all the great students that we have. And I couldn't be more in agreement with them. Just so you know, other local high schools have their career day today as well. I believe Woodlake High School has their career day as we speak. They're having it today as well. And the fact that these guest presenters picked Orosi High School is awesome. And it's a tribute to you, the students, because they believe in you, just like we do. So we're going to kick off our career day with our keynote. So this is the part where I really need you to be quiet, pay attention, be respectful. You show cards care, hashtag accountable. Our keynote speaker is Ms. Erika Gonzalez. She's the second born of 4 strong-willed Mexican-American females, a hometown girl, born to Jesus and Argelia Gonzalez, has spent much of her life serving the Orosi community. Ms. Gonzalez's family worked in the agricultural industry and years later served the community through their small local business, El Rincon Mini Mart, a business that sought to bring a little bit of Mexico to the families from the community. Success for Ms. Gonzalez did not come easy. Adversity, poverty, and acculturation was the wall that often served as a barrier. But she was determined and committed to make a difference in her life and the life of others. Ms. Gonzalez began her career at the age of 19 as a child care worker, climbing her way to work as a social worker for a group home that served adolescents that were court appointed for 10 years. In addition, she worked as a rehabilitation case manager for the Tulare County Office of Education for 5 years and for the Tulare County District Attorney's Office as a victim witness worker. This experience led her to pursue a career in counseling, which began at Colorado Elementary School, transitioning to her current position as a school counselor for a Monte Middle School. Ms. Gonzalez earned a bachelor's degree in social science, a master's degree in education with a people personnel services credential in school counseling, and she is currently clearing her administrative services credential. Ms. Gonzalez sees her #1 role as a mentor for youth and as an advocate for resiliency, hope, and self-empowerment. Her passion, dedication, and commitment to youth is evident in her service to the students, parents, district, and community as a whole. Students of Orosi High School, please help me welcome Ms. Erika Gonzalez with a big round of applause.
Yeah, mama!
Good morning. It is my pleasure and honor to be here with you today. I have to admit, when I got the first phone call. It took me 2 days to answer, 2 days that I was contemplating, can I do this? Then I reflected and I thought throughout my life, can I do this? I can do this and I will do this.
Yeah, mama!
So this is really for all you students. My passion has always been to work with youth. And it continues to be, and you guys are the motor of why I do what I do. So then I'll go with my presentation. So Mr. Bach, I was able to talk to you about the places that I work for. I also work as a probation officer. It was shortly lived because I knew that I was not interested in putting people away. That was just not what I wanted to do. I thought there's skills to be learned, just the way one day I needed those skills. So that was a little bit about myself. And I start off with this picture. So let me tell you, as I went through this, a lot of emotions, I felt a lot of emotions as I was collecting these pictures, brought back a lot of memories of where I've been. So that's myself as a little girl, always dressed really cute, thanks to my mother. One thing she did though, she always dressed my sister and I alike. I'm not sure why she did that. I didn't like it, but my sister did. But either way, that was a picture of myself. When I see that picture, what I can think of is during those times, there was poverty. I didn't know it though. I just know that my parents were doing the best they could. The bottom picture is a picture of my father. So the man right here, that's in the center, that's my dad right here. So what I recall when I look at this picture and I look at that age was when my father had to go work. He worked in Pennsylvania. It was harvesting, it was apple season. That's where I was born, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, because my parents were migrant workers traveling and following work. And so when we moved to California, we couldn't be going back and forth. That's something my parents decided. They wanted more stability for us. So my father would go away for about 3 months, and my mother would become a single mother. And I remember it was really difficult. She was also working long hours. She was working in packing houses. She was working out in the fields. And so when I was reflecting on this picture, it was really reinforcing the fact that my parents worked really hard. I put these pictures in here because what they signified to me was, again, my parents being out in the fields. And I remember during the summers, we had to go out to the fields too. Now that I reflect on it, I don't really think we were helping my parents. We were like age 6 or 7. I think it's more my parents didn't have childcare, so we had to go with them. And so my parents would put us to do, tender papel por la tabla, putting the paper down for the grapes. And after a few cuts on my fingers and doing it, and after being cold, I would go hide in the vineyards. And I remember I was cold, shivering, hiding. And then I would hear my mom, Erika, hija de tu, and then you can just imagine how I am. Vas a ver como te encuentre. You're going to be in big trouble when I find you. So the more she would say that, the more I would hide. And then she would say, te vas a salir una culebra, which is a snake's gonna come out. Well, I thought, I'll take my chances with a snake because I would see her with La Varilla, and she had taken all the leaves out, and I said, I'll take my chances with a snake. But I'm thankful for my mother. Very persistent and determined. When she was pregnant, as a field worker, they didn't have medical family leave, where she was able to stay home and just be pregnant and wait for her baby. So she had to find a way to make ends meet. I remember going with her. She would sell tortas and burritos from her car with sodas. And she would wake me up in the mornings. She was pregnant, and we would do that. So again, if I can go back and think about my parents, what they instilled was hard work. There was a lot of stuff in the home going on, a lot of stressors, a lot of things that were traumatic for children. But nevertheless, my ability to choose on the positive, which is watching my parents and watching them work, that was what saved me. always trying to find the positive out of every negative situation. I put here risk factors. Sometimes, these are the risk factors that our parents, they're not intentionally causing this. They're working hard, field workers, working in packing houses or other places. And as a child, I would have to go home, and my parents would tell me, when you get home, this was like I was age 5, close the door, lock it. If anyone comes, you don't open that door. But being the defiant child that I was, or scared child, I would do the opposite. I would wait outside on the porch for my sisters to come from school. So as soon as I would see the yellow bus coming around the corner, I would be so happy. Even though later my sister and I would be pulling each other's hair. But during that time, I was happy that she was coming home. So going through school was not easy. My parents were not able to support me with my homework. They didn't understand. That was really difficult, especially as an English language learner. And I remember when I would go to school, I was put in small groups, and I would put the headphones on, and I had to repeat stuff. El gato, the cat. And I really recall that, and it was through repetition and being able to do that I started acquiring and improving my language. But nevertheless, at home, it was really difficult to do my work. My first job was at my home. I had the duty to watch over my little sisters, make sure I took them to school, make sure they were fed, make sure the house was clean, because my parents were out working. So my time to do my homework was at nighttime. Oftentimes, my family would go to sleep, and I would stay awake till like midnight doing my work. That was my time to complete my work. So it was difficult, and although my parents were not able to support me with my work, the example that they were giving me of hard work was something that was instilled in me. That was being committed. Now, this is a picture of my 8th grade graduation at that time. Now it's promotion. I was with my principal and assistant principal. And I'll read this quote right here that says, "Accept both compliments and criticism. It takes both the sun and rain for a flower to grow." The reason I'm talking about that was because sometimes criticism won't always come in a positive way. I was told, I really did make poor choices, behavior choices when I was in middle school. Not in the classroom, it was more social. But I was making difficult choices. Because of that, I believe people were trying to motivate me. And what was told to me when I went to my principal and assistant principal, and I said, "I made it. I want you to come and see me graduate from high school." At that moment, one of them, and I'll show you the slide later who it was, said to me, "You're lucky if you make it through high school," and chuckled. That could have been hurtful, but for me, that became a challenge. And now that I think about it, I don't know if that was something negative or if that was some tough love. I choose to think that was tough love. That was the way that I was being motivated. Before I did that, this was myself here at Orosi High School. Like I said, I wasn't always making the best choices. I was involved with the gangs, I was involved in fights, started consuming alcohol, became really depressed, and also went through depression. See, nowadays, sorry, that's my timer that's time to go out for supervision. So I was, getting involved in negative stuff. Students, I really want you to know how blessed you are, what Cutler Orosi Joint Unified has done for you. To have counselors at every school, and sometimes we're not utilizing those resources. For myself, when I was coming to school, I had my counselors, but we met with them once a semester. I got my schedule, and they said, "See you next semester." Never did I talk to them again. So part of that is also self-accountability. As students, we also have to know how to reach out for those services. You know where those services are at. This time when I was going to school, they weren't readily available. So I saw a lady walking on campus and I would watch her and I would watch her with a group of students. One day I approached her and I said, "What do you do here? Why do you come to Orosi High School?" And she said, "Well, I'm from Turning Point, and I provide services to students who are having difficulties." I said, "How can I self-refer? How can I go to you?" That's when my self-help started. See, I had to do this behind my parents' back. Why? Because at that time, needless to say, my mom would say, "I don't believe in counselors." And it's a cultural thing, not telling people our problems. So it's kind of like keeping their problems within the home. But I knew in my heart that I needed more help. So I reached out, and that's how I started my self-help. And for my mom, it backfired because her daughter became a counselor. So, I want to talk to you about my secret mentors. The reason I call them secret is because I don't think I've had the opportunity to go back and say, "You've made an impact. You've made an impact in my life." My first mentors, my heroes, my mom and dad. My dad has always been a hard-working man. That's all I remember from my father. Work, work, work. Now he's retired, but you wouldn't be able to tell. The man continues working. He does what he knows best, which is to work. My mother, now let me tell you, my true admiration, the source of strength that I've seen from her, what she's done in life. You see, her dad was murdered at the age of 11, and she had to go from Michoacan to Guadalajara, Jalisco, which was 3 hours from her house. At age 11, my mom had to become a maid. She wasn't allowed or afforded the opportunity to go to school. She had to take care of her siblings. In fact, when she did go, she was skipping school. And this was when she was in kinder. She decided school was not her thing. But nevertheless, when I hear my mom talk, very eloquent words in Spanish, and one day I asked her, "Mom, how is it that you're so smart? You didn't go to school. You're a business successful woman. She can make sales and purchases and sell things to people that didn't want things. She's really good." And I said, "How are you so smart?" And she said, "I self-taught. I read books. My books were my teachers." So therefore, I re-emphasize the ability to be accountable for your learning, making sure that sometimes I hear students say, "Well, I'm not doing good because," and they'll put the blame on somebody else. Perhaps that could be part of it, but we're also having to be self-accountable. And I believe I learned that lesson from my mother, the self-accountability. Now, that's her little store. She knew she didn't belong in the fields. She started off with it being one anymore. My father was not supportive because in his mind, he said, "We didn't come to America to stay here. We're going to get enough money and we're going back to Mexico." That was the mentality. My mother, though, being as determined and as persistent and stubborn, went against it. They bought their first home and she got her store. Thank you. My second mentor, Mrs. Valdez, Yolanda Valdez. To me, I'm going to tell you, I was here in high school. I was in her office more than I should have been. Again, the choices I was making were not productive, not positive. But not once when I entered her office did she ever make me feel like I was a problem. Not once did she make me feel like she was going to give up on me. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I can read it there. I'll try. There was something she wrote on my yearbook. And I'm going to tell you how meaningful that was to me. I've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations throughout my life. yearbook. And I had to read what she said, because unfortunately, at the time, I couldn't see in myself what she was able to see in me. She wrote on my yearbook, "Erica, my feisty young lady, you are a strong person. You will do great things. I know that you will not let obstacles get in your way." And so when I did have those obstacles, even as an adult, even as close as last year, I went back to that yearbook. So that's just the power of your connections and your ability to connect to others. And as educators, the impact that we have on students. It's the small things that sometimes become the big things. And for that, I am really grateful. And I have to tell you that there's several students, and we can look at the educators we have here, whether it's teachers, your principal, assistant principal, counselors, the office staff, custodians. You never know who that mentor can be. All I can tell you is, as students, also work on the accountability of finding your connections. So, growing up, I knew I had to dream big. So let me tell you, although I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, what I did know was I did not want to work in the fields. I did not want to be out there. My mom would often complain of her back hurting. She had really bad allergies because of the pesticides and everything. So while I didn't know what I wanted to do, I did know what I didn't want for myself, which is to work in the fields. So I started looking around me, and I started looking at trades that I liked. But before that, I got married. So when I graduated high school, I told my parents I wanted to go to San Diego. They said, "No way, te vas a ir de loca. You're gonna go be crazy." And you know what? They were probably right. At the moment, my parents know me best. So for whatever reason, I didn't go. So naturally, I stayed here, and I thought, well, what do I do next? So I went and got married at the age of 18. My parents weren't supportive of it, and I did that. And then I had 2 children, which I love dearly. They're the motor to who I am. But it wasn't easy. But I'm going to tell you something that I recall when I got married. My parents spoke to my then husband, and I thought they were going to have the conversation the day of my wedding to say, take care of her, be good to her. They probably should have, but they didn't have that conversation. They told him, don't stop her. Please continue to support her as she goes through her education. She's going to get far in life. At that moment, I knew my parents believed in me. I knew that they too saw something that I didn't see in myself. So I have this slide right here that says, my current situation is not my final destination. And that's really the growth mindset of believing that no matter what you're going through, life will get better. You know, oftentimes I would talk to individuals that were talking about the wall that Donald Trump was building or built. So worried about that. And I would say to students, don't worry about that wall. Worry about the wall that we're building here. Obstacles, barriers. Your challenge is to look at those obstacles and barriers and see, what do I need to do to overcome those obstacles and barriers? If you have to go over them, under them, or through them. Now, this is a picture. I don't know if you guys can see, but these are pictures that were taken as I was going through school and being a mom. The picture over here is one where I was asleep. It was probably like 2 in the morning. So since I had 2 small children, my primary responsibility was to be a mom. Once I would put my kids to bed and complete their work with them, then I would stay up late at night doing my work. So there is no excuse. Is it hard? Yes, it is. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Thank you. This is a picture of myself working at my mom's business. Now that say this. When we were going to school, I had the ability to do my work at my parents' business while also having my infant daughter with me. I had my child there and I was able to work. So I'm very thankful for the efforts my parents made for us to be successful. Now, my college experience. This is a little embarrassing, but I share it with you just so that you know. So I did graduate with an AA degree in social science at the age of 19 from College of the Sequoias. Now, why did I stay there 3 years longer? Because I was going to college. I had no sense of direction. I just knew I was going to college. On a positive note, I took a little bit of every class at COS, so I can say I'm not learning. But what my advice to you would be, connect with your counselors. Sometimes we think as counselors as just individuals that provide social emotional support for troubled students or students experiencing difficult emotions. While counselors do that, we're also focused on providing that career guidance. So this is when now you have the career inventories, the college inventories to check, where is it that I want to, what do I want to be? And after you do that career inventory, then you're able to say, what universities, colleges offer this? That's the importance of you really working through that. So again, I felt like that was a picture of myself saying, I don't know what I'm doing. And you know, as you start going to school, you might not know right away what you want to do, but do know that you have the opportunity to do those academic plans where you're looking, where do I want to go? And if you don't know, start taking your general education classes. Once you are able to complete that, then you may develop that clear sense of direction of where you want to go. Now, the third individual, my secret mentor, is someone I would like to call Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith was a social worker to the group home where I worked at for 10 years. Now, I'm going to tell you personally, I wasn't fond of her. She didn't treat me with respect, and I felt she was rather condescending. It's almost like she saw me, I don't know what it was, if it was, I don't know, but she made up her mind that I wasn't going to get far in life. But nevertheless, even though I didn't like who she was as a person, I did admire her intellectual ability. The lady was one of the smartest ladies I had ever heard at that time. And I would hear her have groups with students, and I would sit there quietly, and I would tell myself, one day I will speak like her. One day I will be a professional like her. So at the group home, when the kids would go to sleep, the residents at 9 o'clock, oftentimes that was our downtime. I didn't have a downtime. I would go get the reports that were getting sent to the court, and I would read those reports over and over. I would highlight words that were unknown to me. I would get a dictionary, yes, a dictionary, because we didn't have the fancy phones. So I would look at those words that were unknown to me, and I said, I will learn those words. So although she wasn't somebody that was pleasant, she taught me a lot, and she doesn't know it. Thank you. So I got my AA degree in social science at College of the Sequoias. I got my bachelor's degree in social science at Chapman University. I pursued my master's at Fresno Pacific University with the PPS Credential School Counseling. And currently I'm attending Fresno Pacific University, working on clearing the administrative credential. Again, this is a picture of when I graduated with my master's degree. Not that I'm trying to show off, but I'm going to tell you that was the first car. As a female, I fell in love with the image of the car. When I bought it, they told me it had a heavy engine and it was an SRT. I had no idea what that was. I just knew that the rims looked good and the color was super. Let me tell you, I quickly found out what it was when I was on the road. Rather dangerous, but I love the car. Now, this is a picture of my graduation. Top corner, I have my parents. Then I have have my sisters, and I have my dad. Let me tell you why these pictures were so meaningful. I noticed, and I was trying to observe every second of that graduation, when I watched my mom hold on to that diploma, and my dad, on his own, with his funny character, put on the cap and gown, I knew at that moment, we did it. It wasn't me. It was my family. Now, I get rather emotional with this because I felt that that's the American dream, el sueño americano. And I thought, we did it. And that's where I would like to highlight accountability. It's really being accountable to ourselves, and we can do it. Now, my last mentor, remember I talked to you about one of the principals or assistant principals? With his permission, I would like to talk about my first assignment coming and working for Orosi Unified School District. I was taken to Cutler School, and they said, you're going to go meet your principal. Yay, Cutler School. So I was taken to go meet my principal. They took me and said, we're going to introduce you to your principal. So when they took me, the principal comes out. Immediately when I saw him, there was a glow in our face, and we smiled. He chuckled and chuckled and chuckled. And when they asked him, why are you laughing? The first words out of his mouth were, well, I'll be darned. It was Mr. Alvarado. So that was the individual at the beginning in 8th grade when he said, you're lucky if you make it through high school. And let me tell you though, I have a heart for that man. Till this day, we're very much connected. And I do see him as my mentor. And I am thankful for the words that he told me. Now, I said, I dream big, I work hard, and I'm here to give back. So this was a challenge. Was it hard? Yes, it was. Does it continue to be hard? Yes, it is. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything. I come to work, and this is why I'm here. When I asked, what's my purpose? I have found my purpose, and this is my passion. And I would just like to end with the following slide. I have 2 more actually. So the road right here shows that the road is not always nice and smooth. That road sometimes has dips, cracks. Throughout the journey, I also received a diagnosis of cancer, stage 3 thyroid cancer. And I also went through divorce during the time, something that was really difficult for me and my family. So while everything seemed to be going smooth, I went through another dip. But you know, I'm not worried about the dips. It's my ability to bounce back. So, on that road right there, I would like to read, because I know you can't see it, where it says, the road to success is not a straight line. Detours are part of the journey. So, this was a picture that I took about a month ago, just to show you that there is a beautiful scene after all that. And while you might still have detours, we always work on getting back. And to me, this is what I see now. From everything I went through, this is an image that I have now. So my protective factors will help me get ahead of life. Determined, committed, responsible, and accountable. There's a reason why that's here at Orosi High School. Now these are my children, Destiny and Isaiah. Again, they're the motor to who I am. And my children, I thank you so much for being patient with me. The long days I've worked, the times that they had to share me with my education and share me with my career. They have been really understanding and realize that they have a mother that they're going to share. Because while I'm here for them, they're my motor, you guys are my motor too.
Love you, Mom!
There are people that want to see you win. It's me. I'm people. Your win is my win. So with that being said, I want to thank you for your time, but before this is over, I want to also share with you, this is something that I read, and I really want you to pay attention. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. So do I work hard like this? Yes, I do. But I love it. So I'm going to encourage you and challenge you that when you go to your breakout sessions, please be respectful to your presenters, because they might be the ones that are going to plant that seed where you're going to find that job where you'll never have to work a day in your life. And before this is over, I would like to introduce to you my mother.